Welcome into a condensed version of the Desmond Johnson Show here on Wednesday, October the 15th, 2025. Marc Pruitt in the house from the Winston-Salem Journal. Prep beat writer is going to give us his top 3 high school football games of the week coming up this Friday. Tobacco Road Sports Radio has 4 games for you live this upcoming Friday. We give you the lineup for that as well. But let's go ahead and get into it. It's the Desmond Johnson Show.
Live with Desmond Johnson, son, the live is one. Represent NC to the fullest.
Yeah, welcome to the Carolinas. Everywhere you go, the sky is Carolina blue, the finest. Live action, feedback, the city need that. I've been number 1, no cap. Here's the recap. Adrenaline is my addiction. I'm about to relapse. Step on the turf if you won't and get your weed whacked. I'm going harder than a martyr on the starter end. It's the heart of man, that's a rap like a cardigan. I'm breaking records, it's 4th and inches. I count the seconds. The over-under's my roar of thunder, my secret weapon. Yeah, the game is to be told. I don't break, I break modes. Follow me on Tobacco Road.
Live with Desmond Johnson, son, the live is one. Represent NC to the fullest.
And we are in with a brand new edition of the Desmond Johnson Show. It's Wednesday, so that means it's time for Wednesday Night Lights. Marc Pruitt in the house giving us his preview for the Big 3 this upcoming Friday around the Triad as conference play continues. Marc, without any further ado, what is game number 1 from Mr. Marc Pruitt?
Well, we're going to start in the Piedmont Triad 6A, 5A today. Oak Grove heading to Mount Tabor Friday night. That will probably determine the conference champion in this league. Both teams are 2-0 heading in. And from what I've seen from other game scores, they've had little trouble so far in conference games, but this will definitely be the toughest conference game for each of these two teams Friday night. Mount Tabor's finding a groove. They've won 3 straight after starting the season 0-4. Playing a really tough non-conference schedule. Oak Grove has also kind of found their groove. They had a very tough non-conference schedule, and their 3 losses have been by a total of 7 points to Reagan, Northern Guilford, and who else did they lose to? Northern Guilford and Davie County. Loss. So they've both played the hard non-conference schedules to get them ready. Oak Grove's kind of been rolling. This is 3rd year for Coach Rob Creason now. He's won 2 straight conference championships as a coach. And Oak Grove had several before that under Mark Holcomb since the school opened back in 2020 or 2019, something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this will be a fun one, I think. Friday night, Tabor's getting some good production from a lot of young players. Quarterback Kingston Brown, Tyshawn Brown's son, the coach at Mount Tabor, had 3 touchdowns, accounted for 3 touchdowns last Friday in their win. So it's I think that'll be the game to watch around the Triad and in Forsyth County and Davidson County Friday night. And the winner of that's going to probably be the conference champ.
And I'm sitting here debating if I'm going to flex that game because it's actually one of our 4. Mike Fanning will be on the call there, Oak Grove at Mount Tabor. That might get flexed to the WTOB game of the week. I haven't decided yet. We'll know Friday morning will probably when I decide if we're going to flex it or not. But based off what you just said, it might be the one to flex over for that. Mike Fanning will be on the call for that game. So that's one of the 4 that Tobacco Road has on Friday. Give me your second game of the week here.
Let's go into the Metro Conference. Grimsley at Page. I think that'll have some eyeballs in it. And
yeah, maybe a couple. Yeah,
should be a lot of fun. Page 5-2, 2-1 in the conference. Grimsley is Grimsley, 7-0, 3-0 in the league. I don't know what else we can say about Grimsley. They just continue rolling along.
They have not missed a beat without Faison Brandon. Yeah,
I guess that's the real topic of conversation surrounding that is, will he come back this season? And do they need him to? I mean, obviously for a state championship run, you'd like to have Faison with you. But Freshman, he's been getting it done for those guys, and
I mean, at this
he's
point,
got a
he's been
surrounding cast around them. They're pretty special. So
he's been out since what, the end of August, so he's missed almost the better part of 2 months. I'd be more concerned about plugging him back in and like timing and stuff, because Brody Lowe's playing really well, really well.
Out, and he's a good game manager. I mean, he can put the numbers up too, which I saw a couple times when I've seen him play this season. But he's got that great supporting cast around him, all on offense and on defense. And as Coach Brown told me after the big win against East Forsyth, I think it was week 3 of the season, we're just asking him to get the ball to those guys around him that make the plays. Yes, he's capable of making them too, making some great throws I've seen. But Grimsley's loaded with guys on both ends of the field, and they just keep getting it done, keep rolling along. But Page, they might have something to say about it. I don't know, but I would anticipate that this is Grimsley's to lose Friday night.
I mean, and this is the quote unquote tough part of Grimsley's non-conference schedule, with them going to Page and then having Dudley at Grimsley on October 24th next week. So those are the 2 teams everybody was looking at in the Metro that might challenge Grimsley. But let's be real, guys. Grimsley's the 16th ranked team in the country right now, according to Max Preps, and no sign of slowing down anytime soon. I was kind of looking at Drew Dawson's as the projected brackets for 7A and some of the other brackets, and I keep tracks of it for East, so I know if I have to go on the road or not. I already know if we're getting in, we're going on the road first round probably, unless something crazy happens over the next couple of weeks. But that Grimsley team is built to beat anyone over in the 7, really in 7A, East or West. And they have. That's the thing. They've everyone pretty much.
Probably beat a lot of 8A teams as well. So
yeah. I mean, West Charlotte week 1, and they're going to be a contender in 8A. Huff doesn't like seeing Grimsley. Just Grimsley's just gotten to this point where I'm so impressed with Coach Brown and what they've done. And I went over and did their coaches show Monday night at Natty Greens. And they're just so well put together. They're so disciplined, and they're good kids, but they just turn into savages on Friday night. He just flips a switch or something. So that'll be a good one. And actually, that might help. We were talking about RPI and how that's changing kind of the mentality of how important is the conference championship and things of that sort. Which is why after that East Forsyth West Forsyth game a couple of weeks ago, I didn't feel the same sense of loss from East as I would have previous years, where that might have cost them the conference. Where it might have cost them a first round bye, but it's not going to. It may or may not affect them completely with the rankings, because it's just RPI, not conference championship weight into it. So it's wild. It's wild. We'll see how it is. But that game we will have on Tobacco Road, Grimsley at Page. We will have that game for you Friday night. That's the WCOG game of the week. Kickoff at 7. I believe our pregame will be at 6:30 with Chase and Jeff on the call over there, Chase Williamson, Jeff Marson. Who is your third game here around the Triad this week?
Well, I'm going to cheat. It's actually 3 that I'm looking at.
Ooh,
I'm going to go to CPC for this one. And this, we call it, I guess, we can call it trap games or whatever, but East Forsyth, West Forsyth, Reagan, the 3 top dogs in the CPC, all have let's not look ahead games this week. No trap games, whatever the coaches want to call them.
Yeah.
East playing Northwest Guilford. Reagan will be at Parkland, and West will play Reynolds. Reynolds lost its first game of the season last week to Reagan. So Reagan and West Forsyth are both 2-0. Reagan and West Forsyth play one another next Friday night on October 24th. West Forsyth, by virtue of beating East Forsyth a couple weeks ago, has the inside track to winning the conference championship. East Forsyth can be that disruptor still, because they play Reagan the last game of the season.
Right.
Reagan has Reynolds this week, Parkland, which hasn't won a game this season and is just, they're rebuilding under Derek Sharp over there this year. But once again, Friday night, things can happen. Things can crazy happen, which I think would be pretty crazy if something like that would happen this Friday night. But I know coaches kind of we all know they do it the 1 week at a time, one game at a time, one play at a time. That's the mentality. But kids sometimes might look ahead a little bit to what's coming up next, especially the opponent might not be as feared one week after another. But I think those three teams will have to, have their full focus this Friday night in order to proceed to what the ultimate goal would be with winning the conference championship. With I think the West Forsyth Reagan game next week, that'll be the highlight, and the winner of that is in the driver's seat. And then East Forsyth can still be the disruptor in the Central Piedmont 4A and make it a three-way tie if things fall their way. So
that's happened before, actually, recently.
Yes, it has. Yeah. Yes, it has. And I think we'll know a lot more after Friday night, where everything is, and I think a lot of people will be looking forward to next Friday night's games as well. Page and Dudley and West and Reagan squaring off. So
East has Reynolds.
Shaping up. Everything's starting to shape up with 3 weeks left in the regular season.
And we have, of course, Northwest Guilford at East Forsyth, myself and Hot Rod Funderburk on the call there. That's a kickoff at 7. We might parachute in a little bit early for a small pregame before that. If not, this will probably be playing right before that on WTOB 980 AM, 96.7 FM. That's our third game. Our fourth game is North Forsyth at Glenn. Glenn kind of having a bit of a resurgence season, doing pretty well under head coach Tommy Green. His coach's show just aired last night. So if you want to watch that show, you can on the Tobacco Road YouTube channel, Deep Water with Glenn Football. It's sitting over there.
Tough loss for those guys last week.
In overtime. The North Davidson.
Didn't get it. And I got to respect Coach Green for going for the win there in overtime.
They're trying to change the culture over there a little bit, get it back from where it was from when Antoine Stevenson was there and left. They went down a couple of years trying to rebuild, and I do like Coach Green. I like his enthusiasm. I like what they're doing there. I need to mention this because I've had so many people ask me this because they know I'm the voice of the Eagles over at East Forsyth, and that's regarding the sudden departure of offensive lineman JB Shabazz, who transferred in the middle of the season last week. Leaving to go back to Oak Grove. High school OT broke this story about 10:30 Friday night, but we were aware of it about 5-6 o'clock that afternoon when we arrived at East to start calling the football game between East and Parkland last Friday. Word started to trickle down to us in the booth about it, and for planning purposes or whatever, we decided not to mention it during the broadcast. But of course, it got out by the time we got in the car to go back home. So for those that are asking what's going on, is there turmoil at East? Is this the downfall of East Forsyth? Blah, blah. No, this was a decision that was made based off of my sources and what I've been told. This had nothing to do with JB having issues with the team or the coaches or anything like that. This was some sort of internal decision with him and his family. His family decided to move him back to Oak Grove. I'm not sure why, because if I'm not mistaken, I spoke to the basketball coach, Joe Coulter, the assistant AD over at East, and I believe he told me that Jair Richburg and JB are leaving early. They're leaving after football season for their commitment. So they were only going to be there till December anyway. So that's why I'm kind of not really sure why they decided to pull the trigger right when conference schedule started. East is 3-3. I don't think he can play for Oak Grove. I'm not sure what that rule is. I did see the Reedsville quarterback that transferred in from Raleigh or somewhere a couple of weeks ago, and he's playing right now. So he transferred in mid-season. So do you know anything about that? If he's eligible to play?
My understanding of the rule is if he transfers mid-season to a different county and he lives in that county, he can play. So he was not eligible to play last week, but the word is he is eligible to play this Friday night against Mount Tabor.
Yeah. And we'll have that game. So
because what I've been told or heard from a couple of different people is when he transferred to East a couple years ago, or before the start of last year, he had a family member that was there, and it grandfathered him in with a transportation thing.
That's correct.
His mother still lives in the Oak Grove district in Davidson County, which is why he will be eligible to play immediately. There is a thing in Forsyth County about it where you get 365, where you can't play for a year unless you live in the district of the county or of the school that you're transferring to. So I don't know enough about it. I've gotten to know him the last few years. He was on my all-area team as a sophomore at Oak Grove, and I've known him from basketball and football circles now. We were both at his commitment to
Yeah,
to
we
Tennessee in
Dr.
July,
Long strained it. Yeah,
which he flipped that. I think it was the week of the Grimsley game. He flipped that to the Carolina.
you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Carolina. So, whatever the reasons were behind it, I know he still had a lot of friends. He had a lot of friends from Oak Grove that came to his commitment ceremony.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
When he committed to Tennessee. So I'm sure the pull of that had something to do with it. But
I mean, I know some things, but I'm not really at liberty to go too deep into the weeds with it. I'll just say that it doesn't, for whatever reason he had to transfer or wanted to transfer or his parents wanted to transfer, whatever the case may be, that's fine. That's their decision. But kind of the way it went down kind of rubs me the wrong way in terms of they didn't find out till game day last week that he was gone. Like their starting left tackle, like their 4-star starting left D1 starting left tackles. No one is not here. He just practiced the day before. So it was like, I didn't like how that went down, but I've said before, good luck to him. I know JB pretty well. I've got a chance to know him over the past couple of years, doing football and basketball and just other events at East Forsyth. He's a good kid. He's a very good kid. And I just hope that this works out in his favor and it doesn't mess up anything future-wise. Because to your point, he did commit to Tennessee, flipped it to Carolina. You see this beside it too. It makes me wonder what football coaches might think, going forward in terms of commitment and staying and doing that kind of thing. So we'll just see. But hopefully, like I said, much love to JB from the Eagle family. Hopefully everything works out for you. Sorry you couldn't, stay for whatever reasons. And we'll just kind of leave it at that. But anything else you're looking at this week that you're interested in? Because all three of the games you mentioned, we're going to have on Tobacco Road on Friday night. Plus we're going to have Glenn versus North Forsyth will be on the Glenn Sports Network as well. So the Glenn game might be on the NFHS network only for Glenn. Oak Grove, Mount Tabor will be on both NFHS and us. Northwest Guilford at East Forsyth is on both, and WTOB, and Grimsley at Page will be on WCOG and Tobacco Road. But anybody else that you're looking at this week?
I'm keeping an eye on Carver. They won again last week and put up 74 points.
What? Who did they play?
They played at McMichael.
Oh wow,
great! So that's putting up a lot. So I think they're 6-1 now.
They only lost to Reedsville.
Resurgence and a big game with them against Walkertown coming up in a couple of weeks.
Ooh, so that's a big one. Yeah. And anybody listening in Walkertown, I'd love to start a sports network out there. I've already talked to Coach Honeycutt about some of that stuff and just kind of figuring out what the logistics of what it would be, because Walkertown's kind of got it rolling with their athletic program with Honeycutt coming in for football. The basketball program has always been solid. They fit the parameter of what we look for over here. As for Carver, my wife actually went to school at Carver, so she's tickled every time I mention Carver in a conversation in terms of what they're doing this week or whatever. She'll love the fact that you said they scored how much? 74?
74 points.
That's great. That's on a conference flow too at that. So I know I got to get you out of here. We're going to go ahead and get out of here for tonight. Where are you going to be at Friday?
I'll be at Mount Tabor and Oak Grove.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a good one. So yeah, again, that might get flexed to WTOB. I'll probably decide that here in the next 24 hours or so. But everyone, appreciate you guys stopping by for your lunch break. Make sure you join us Saturday morning at 11 a.m. WWBG 1470 a.m. and TobaccoRoadSportsRadio.com, and the YouTube channel for our Saturday NFL Roundtable. Myself, Ryan Smith, former NFL tight end Ben Troop. We might have Rod Funderburk in the house. We'll go around the NFL. This is literally the year where the NFL achieved what they wanted most, which is parity. There is no great NFL team this year. There's a lot of good ones, but there's not a really great one. So we'll kind of go through pretenders and contenders and figure out what's what there. And we'll kind of preview the Panthers' little win streak here. Win 3 out of the past 4 games. So I'm sitting on cloud 9 right now, Marc, after years of misery watching my Panthers just underperform. So we're going to get out of here. Appreciate Marc stopping by. We'll be back next Wednesday with more high school football stuff. We get to the bottom of conference play and get ready for the playoffs, which is going to be wild, especially in 7A here in the